How's it going, everybody? Ryan here with the top 10 songs of 2016. It's the end of the year. I've listened to a crap ton of albums, and on some of those albums, there were some standout songs, and these are the 10 that really stood out to me as being really good. For some of these songs, the song itself I thought was better than the album. You'll see a couple songs here where the album did not make my top 10, but the song did. Also, a little heads up, this is my opinion. I understand that you may not agree with my opinion, or you may have different ideas of what you think is good. So if you want to let me know what your favorites are, please feel free to do so in the comments. Just don't be a dick. So moving right into it, I'm going to start off with a couple honorable mentions. These are songs that I thought were really good, just weren't good enough to crack my top 10. First of which is Pleiades Dust by Gorguts, the 30-minute epic EP. Then you have Hexabrand, I think that's how you say it, from Kvelertak, off of Natisford. It was their longest, most progressive, and just my favorite track off that album. Then you have Poisonous Shadows from Megadeth. I thought this was a really unique track off of Dystopia that really showed the range that Megadeth can do while maintaining a thrash sound. Then you have Burning Bright Field on Fire off of the fairly recent Nine Inch Nails EP. I thought this was incredibly heavy and had a very doom metal-like sound to it. I really liked it. Next is Goodbye Angels from Red Hot Chili Peppers. I thought this was the standout track from their new album, and it really stood out as being something different but really good from the band. Plus that ending with Flea is fantastic. Lastly, I have Seven Seals from Testament. This is a really good, heavy, aggressive thrash track, going on with really dark themes about the plagues of Egypt. I thought it was really good. But now I'm going into my top 10 songs of the year. At number 10, I have Big Red Gun from Billy Talent. I thought this was the standout track from Billy Talent's newest album, which I also really liked. I thought this was a very good political, almost punk-style song, something Billy Talent hasn't done before. And it was kind of nice to see them go in that route, because I think they did it really well here, tackling such issues as gun legislation. And I thought they did it really good, but we also had like a really catchy chorus. At number 9, I have Beyond the Matrix from Epica. This is easily the most epic sounding song of the year, no pun intended, but this song truly made you feel like you're in a movie or some sort of epic scenario. It was really good. The operatic vocals that was going on before the song actually started were incredible at creating this atmosphere, and the song itself is really good, has some really good vocals, has some really good guitar works, and it's just overall a really good, fun track. At number 8, I have Square Hammer from Ghost, off their most recent EP, Popestar. Square Hammer is a standout song from that EP, not only for being the only original song on the EP, but also for having an incredibly good keyboard and guitar riff mixed together with throwbacks to 70s and 80s rock, but with a modern twist that Ghost is slowly starting to perfect. It's songs like Square Hammer that's making Ghost one of the most interesting bands to look out for in recent memory. At 7, I have Winter Bane from Abbath. Winter Bane is one of the best black metal songs I've heard in quite a while. It has this long, incredibly aggressive, heavy feel to it, but has a modern twist that makes it just that good. Abbath sings really well on this track as black metal goes, but it's all the backing instruments that really add to this track. The guitars, the bass is fantastic, along with the drums. It grabs you from the starting point of the song and doesn't let up till the very end of the song, the end of which is by far the best. At number 6, I have Symptom of Terminal Illness from the Dillinger Escape Plan. This is off their most recent and last album, Dissociation. Dillinger Escape Plan is known for their chaotic sounds, their songs that are just portraying pure madness musically throughout. Symptom of Terminal Illness is one of the slower, more melodic songs off their album, but it does that in a way that creates this creepy, eerie atmosphere. Personally, I think that the sound that Dillinger Escape Plan does best, that's what most of my favorite songs by them are. The slower, more creepy and eerier songs. Symptom of Terminal Illness does this perfectly. By far my favorite off that album, and one of my favorites of the year. At number 5, I have Blood Eagle Wings from Anthrax. This is not only the longest song off that album, but it's also the longest song in Anthrax's career, and it truly shows everything that Anthrax can do. It starts off with this slow acoustic opening that just builds the tension and anticipation for what's about to hit, and it does not let up once it hits. It's heavy, it's a bit slower, but still really good, with some really good solos, some really deep lyrics. It doesn't let up for the entire 8-minute runtime, and it just feels like it's getting bigger and better each time you listen to it. At number 4, I have Hatred United, United Hate from Death Angel, off their most recent album, The Evil Divide. What's great about this song is it starts off with the slow acoustic opening before it hits into one of the best guitar riffs of the year. And that guitar riff is hard-hitting and heavy and does not let up for the entirety of the song. The vocals alone on this track are fantastic, but just all the musicianship, the drums, the bass, the guitar, it all works in this song, creating one of the best thrash songs of the year. At number 3, I have Lowlands from Gojira. This is a slower, deep cut off their newest album, Magma, and for me it was by far the best song off of that album, as it shows the full spectrum of sounds and styles that Gojira can play. It begins with a couple minutes of the slow, melodic sounding theme, but really builds up tension throughout the entire song before completely unleashing the heaviness that Gojira is known for in the end. It's fantastic. It's one of the best songs they've done in a while. At number 2, I have a song from a band that we were fairly critical of their actual album, but this was by far the best song off that album. That's Spit Out the Bone from Metallica. This is by far the best pure thrash song of the year, and arguably one of the best songs Metallica has done in over 20 years. This is Metallica calling back to their original thrash days of Kill 'Em All and not letting up throughout the entire 7-minute runtime. This is a long song that has a fairly simplistic riff that does not let go. It grabs you by the throat and it holds you right to the very end, and it's fantastic. The riff itself is simplistic, but it's incredibly fast and heavy, and it's one of the best thrash songs I've heard in quite a long time. If the entire album had this sound, then no doubt it would be one of, if not the best album of the year. However, the album itself had some issues, but this song was definitely not one of them. At number 1, I have Exist from Avenged Sevenfold. Exist is unlike anything I've ever heard the band do before. It's an almost 16-minute sci-fi progressive metal epic that truly covers everything that Avenged Sevenfold has ever done. It begins with 8 minutes of just pure instrumentals featuring some of the best guitar riffs that I've heard not only from the band but from any band this year, before going into a slower, more melodic section where singer M. Shadows shows off some of the best singing and best vocals of the entire album, and then ending with a truly unique sound with very heavy guitars playing with incredibly strong drumming from new drummer Brooks Wackerman. But what caps the song off is having a passage written and spoken by famed scientist Neil deGrasse Tyson specifically made for this song. It shows that Avenged Sevenfold has matured their sound far beyond what they did with their previous album. It shows that Avenged Sevenfold is willing to make a song that truly fits the album and truly fits what their vision for the song is without worrying about it being commercially successful or anything like that, because a 16-minute progressive metal song is not something that you can easily hand to a radio station. But what they did with the song is truly unique and unlike anything else I heard this year, and that is why Exist is the best song of 2016. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is my picks for the top 10 songs of 2016. Now, I know you probably have some various opinions. You may agree with some of mine. You may disagree with some of mine. Please feel free to let me know what you think in the comments below. But like I said, don't be a dick. Don't go on like, oh, you're wrong, fuck you, blah, blah, blah. Just have a peaceful conversation. Yeah. And that's probably it for this year from us. So I hope that you all had a good Christmas and that you're all going to have a great new year. And hopefully 2017 gives us some great music. Cheers.